Hey folks, Jack McNiel here with the Kempner Church of Christ, and as we do every Tuesday, we're going to share a little nugget of wisdom from the book of Proverbs. Today we're going to be looking in Proverbs chapter 31, a bit of a longer verse than passage than we normally read, but it's verses 10 through 31. And so notice with me as we read here, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth forth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night. She giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands to the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth her hand to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow, for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, and when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. You know, when I read these words that Solomon has written about the virtuous woman and her value, my thoughts immediately go to the virtuous woman who is sharing her life with me, and I with her, whom I value more than I have the words to describe. In fact, tomorrow we will celebrate our 25th anniversary of our wedding together. And so these verses, as we've read, they really describe the ideal Christian lady. Not many will be able to live up to the standards set here, but some are not far off, and they're continuing to grow into that ideal. So God here sets forth a picture of the mature Christian woman. She is committed primarily to God, but is also committed to her husband and children. Her commitment begins with God and carries on through her commitment to her husband, to her children, to her household, to the needy, and then finally to herself. You know, she is one who is described as industrious in the home. She's industrious in business and in benevolence. She genuinely cares about the needs of others more than her own needs. She's never a detriment to the reputation of her God, her husband, her children, or her community. In fact, she is truly an asset to anything she involves herself with. If she works outside of the home, she is a praiseworthy employee. When she returns home, she garners praise for the way she upholds the home. When she involves herself in community service, she truly shines. And through her light, all can see Christ living in her. The ideal Christian woman is blessed spiritually by her God. She is also blessed by her children for the example and the guidance she provided them, and she's blessed by her husband for her virtue. Her husband continues to bless her for the inner beauty that he sees in her, a beauty that will not lessen, a beauty that sickness will not diminish, a beauty that grows more precious with age. A beauty he cherishes as increasingly as the years of their shared life go by. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far, far above rubies. If you're blessed like me to have to share your life with a virtuous woman, a virtuous bride who is faithful to God and committed to God, then you should consider yourself truly blessed. Notice also what the book of Titus says about Christian ladies. There, chapter 2, beginning in verse 1, he says, "But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith and charity and patience, that women, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may be able to teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed." And so we see the value of a virtuous woman, a woman that fears the Lord. She is worthy of praise. Her value is so much more than anything that you could nail down materially. She is an asset and a blessing to all those who are around her. And she is one who will always strive to help others around her go to heaven, which is really the main goal of any of us. We want to go to heaven, and we want to help others to go to heaven. And so who can find a virtuous woman? She's hard to find, but when you do find one, her value is so much more than you could put a financial number to.